Somebody order up a little slice of America. What's up, guys? I'm Nick, and this is Build Dad Build, a place where we take our national holidays and our whiskey very seriously. So guys, ever since I made this burntwood flag behind me about a year ago, people have been after me to do another flag, to do like a curvy, wavy flag, to like power carve a flag. And 4th of July is right around the corner. I think we really need to remember what this nation's all about, so I think it is time for me to power carve the American flag. So I went down to the old Deepers, and I picked me up some 2x4s. This particular flag is going to be the same dimensions as that flag, which is 19.5 tall, 37 inches long. So this is not a Build Dad Build original idea by any means. I will link to the videos below that I watched to kind of get an idea of how I wanted to do this. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some 2x4s, I'm gonna cut them down to about 40 inches. So I'm gonna have a little wiggle room on each end. I am going to then take them to the table saw. I'm gonna cut off the rounded corners so we'll have some flat stock to work with. So I'm hoping that I can hold all 13 pieces together with just the jaw horse and give me enough room to do my thing, if you know what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna like kind of rough out the flag on there and we'll get to carving. Can I get a yee yee? Yee yee? Can I get a hooty hoot? Hooty hoot? What's up, guys? It is the next day. I have some family in town, so I had to kind of cut it short yesterday. But we did get all the 2x4s cut, and I got them clamped together. However, I'm so mad. My jaw horse doesn't open wide enough to hold them in there, because that would have been my ideal situation. But this is what I came up with. I'm just using some parallel clamps to hold them in place. So I've got my 13 2x4s and then a sacrificial board on the top and the bottom. Next, we're gonna sketch out where the union's gonna be. So I suggest when you when you orient your boards, use kind of a boring area for the union because you don't want a whole lot of knots in there when you're carving a bunch of stars. So I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put the union, then I'm gonna kind of draw in where I want the waves of the flag to be. And honestly, just to try to make my life a little easier, I'm going to try to keep the area where the union is as flat as possible. I mean, it'll probably still have a curve to it, but I don't really want to run some waves through there because it makes getting the stencil down and the stars carved a lot more difficult. So right now, I'm gonna draw that out and then I'm gonna get to carving. I will be removing the majority of the material with my ArborTech turbo plane, and normally I tell you guys to glove up, but when I say glove up for this, make sure you pick the right gloves for the job. These are, I don't know what brand these are. This isn't sponsored or anything. These are Youngstown Glove Company, but the special thing about these is these are chainsaw gloves. These are Kevlar. I appreciate my digits and would rather not hack one off, if you know what I mean. So if you're gonna be doing a lot of power carving, definitely look into something that's gonna give you a little bit more protection than just like a regular set of gloves. Usually I use the ArborTech turbo plane to take out most of the big stuff, to just like really hog out material, and then I'll come back with some Kutzall shaping discs. This is like their very aggressive one, and I used their coarse one. I guess this is very coarse, and that is coarse, the blue one, to kind of smooth it out. So when you use the turbo plane, you get wood chips, which to me is superior only because it's less for me to clean up. I don't have this fine layer of dust everywhere. However, when you get wood chips, you also don't get a smooth surface. So the best combo I've found is turbo plane to hog out the big majority of the material, then come back in with some Kutzall shaping discs and contour more and get that a little smoother. And then of course I come back in with a flap disc and just an orbital sander and smooth everything out pretty smooth. I don't go totally smooth. I went a little smoother on this because I did have some kind of rough areas, but normally I'm gonna put some fire on this anyway. The surface is not gonna be totally smooth at the end of this anyway. So you don't really need to go like overboard with the sanding. Now I'm gonna number these. Actually, I'm gonna sand a little bit more, but I think you guys have seen enough sanding for today. I'm gonna number these 1 through 13 so I know what order they're in. Like I said, I'm gonna sand a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop this off, and the next stop will be burning these bad boys. But I don't think that's gonna happen today. The brother stopped by. My brother's in town. He stopped by for a little bit and we BS'd, so I got started after lunch a little bit later, but no big deal. I knew family was gonna be in town. I'll probably sand this down just a little bit more, get it numbered and out of the clamps, and probably call it for today and get to burning first thing in the morning. Hopefully it'll be a little cooler.
The next morning.
I do believe the little hand says it's time to rock and roll. I'll be using a little torch today because we do not want to burn this too deep. Let me shut that off. I'll be using a little torch today, the little of the two of these torch today, because we do not want to burn it too deep. We want to make sure that our seams are still going to be pretty good. I'm not even going to burn it deep enough to brush it. Maybe, maybe not. I'll make that call on the fly. Now, if you guys haven't seen these yet, the good folks over at Grill Blazer sent me out this one, the little one, and this one, the big one. So the beauty of these versus Puff the Magic Dragon over there is that it has a continuous flame on it. So I don't have to like keep reigniting it. You just pull the trigger and you get your flame, and then you pull to actually activate the torch. It just gives you the freedom to move around a piece without having to have the torch on the whole time. A little safer. You don't use as much gas that way. Yes, you are still burning a little bit of gas, but you're not full on burning gas. Anyway, so far I love these things. They are amazing. If you want to pick up some of your own, I'll leave a link down below to Grill Blazer's site. And if you use the promo code BUILDDADBUILD, you'll get 10% off your offer. Now, let's go play with fire.
busted, new hotness.
America 2.0, baby. Oh, it is 5 o'clock-ish. Okay, it's like 4:30 Sunday afternoon. I've worked all weekend on this thing. So, don't mind if you do. Clinkies. I like it. I like it so much. It makes me feel like my old one is a piece of trash, like in comparison. And the sad thing is, like, one, that's not a bad flag. I still like it. I'm kind of joking about the trash bit, but this looks a gajillion times better. A gajillion, kids. A gajillion. And I'm just dumbfounded because my original flag, I mean, it's got something like 100,000 views or something. Like, a lot of people use it. I had somebody tell me that they use this as an instructional video to teach some kids how to make flags. So it's really cool, but I want to direct them to this. On top of the fact that I just think it's really cool, I didn't really have any issues with it either, man. I mean, it came out exactly how I wanted it to. Like, I mean, no kidding. There was nothing that I wanted to do about this different. I did kind of toy with putting a border around it, but once I started getting these good grooves here, that was a no-brainer. It had to stay like this. So, things that I would do different. There is one thing, and only one thing. Actually, there's two things I would have done different. One, I did have some bleeding from the blue back over to the red, and I don't know if I just needed to let that dry a little bit longer, or it was just always going to happen. Especially this one, you can't see it as much on this one because this one's darker, but that blue seeped back. Now, from afar, you don't really notice it, so I'm okay with it. So I would try to figure out a better way to do that. In the past, I've used razor blades, but you can't use them on an uneven surface because you'd cut too far into the wood, or you'd have a gap. The only other thing I would have done different was I had some bleed from the dye, from the red dye onto the white, so there's a couple areas where there's like a little bit of pink haze on there. I think to mitigate that in the future, what I should have done is just done one layer of varnish on these before I even glued them together. But I really dig it, and in the immortal words of Hannibal, I love it when a plan comes together. Alright guys, it's almost 4th of July, or at least when I'm dropping this video, it's almost 4th of July, so I figured I'd get this out here, spread a little bit of that America spirit out there. But before I go, I want to say thanks to all my patrons. Their support's really what keeps the videos coming out. If you guys really want to support the channel, head on over to Patreon and sign on up. If Patreon isn't your thing, check out my merch shelf down below. All those proceeds go to me putting out more videos. I'm coming up on 50,000 subscribers, so thanks to everybody who's already hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, hit it right down below. If you like this video, hit that like button. And until next time, guys, thanks for playing. Now I got to get to work. You guys thought I was going to forget, didn't you? Special thanks goes to Stephen Mann and Nick the Greek. You guys know what you did. And we'll get to carving. Groovy Bruce? Groovy Bruce. Hit it. Hold on a second. I think it's a dog. Alright, I'm locked out of the house. And then we be carving. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.